Yo, how's it going, everyone? This is Mitchellmander here, and I just got done watching episode 85 of Pokemon Journeys. And wow, this is only part 1 of the Ash vs. Bea battle. And I loved it. Can we also appreciate the fact that this is a two-parter? And this episode ends in a cliffhanger, and I'll get into that in the review, but yeah, it ends in a cliffhanger, which keeps you on the edge of your seat. And I absolutely love it. But before I give my actual rating for this episode, I just want to talk about it in the review, as well, that's kind of the purpose for this video. So let's talk about the episode. But wait, before we actually talk about the episode, if you're new to the channel and you like this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It'd be pretty awesome if you would do that. But I think it's time we talk about this episode. So the first half of this episode is actually not so much focusing on the battle, but the lead up to the battle, with Ash and Go arriving in the Galar region, and they're actually at Bea's Stadium. This is where the battle is taking place. Thank you, Journeys. Thank you. I had one request when it came to Ash and Bea's final battle, presumably final battle, in the Pokemon Journeys series. Have their final battle take place at Bea's Stadium, in her own turf. And Ash ends up victorious in her own gym. She was going around throughout the previous two gyms, going to other fighting gyms across the Pokemon world. And she either defeated Ash or drawed with them. But in this case, there's a good chance that Ash might win this time. But we'll get onto the battle in just a little bit. I'm kind of getting a little distracted here. But anyways, for this first part of the episode, Ash and Go meet Bea, and they're doing some training, and Bea wants Ash to train with her, but Ash is actually waiting for Karina to show up. And if you remember from an earlier episode, I believe the first episode where Bea debuted, she actually talked about Karina and talked about her being too soft. So, the impression here is that there's some beef between Karina and Bea because of this. But it turns out they're actually besties. And Karina actually couldn't get a certain treat for Bea, so she had to get a substitute. But Bea forgives her. But anyways, they enjoy some sweets. But anyways, moving on to the next day, we have the battle between Ash vs. Bea taking place, with a huge crowd in Bea's gym stadium. And Karina, obviously, is there to watch as well, and I have to say, I love the fact that she's here. Adds some nice continuity between the previous episode in this week's episode. Let's do this more often, Journeys. I beg of you, please do it. But anyways, this is a 3v3 match, and it starts off between Pikachu versus Grapplock. And it's interesting because Ash actually gets the first strike in this battle. Pikachu lands an Electro Web on Grapplock, and Pikachu goes to do an Iron Tail and hit Grapplock on the head. But here's the interesting thing. Grapplock uses its tentacles and gets through the Electro Web and starts beating Pikachu up. Grabs Pikachu, just slaps it around. So Ash recalls Pikachu, brings out Lucario, and Faded Rivals are back. Is Lucario going to get its revenge here? Well, not quite. It actually almost gets a direct hit on Grapplock, because it uses, I'm just going to call it Shadow Clone Jutsu, since in the Japanese version, Double Team is Shadow Clones. But anyways, Lucario is about to land an Aura Sphere right on Grapplock, but Bea has it used Detect, so it actually invades the attack, and then Bea immediately recalls Grapplock, and then brings out Hawlucha. So then we get a brief battle between Lucario and Hawlucha, which actually for a little bit turned into a little bit of a Dragon Ball Z battle. I don't know if that was an intentional reference or not, but it literally went Dragon Ball Z battle for a little bit there. But Hawlucha actually lands a Brave Bird on Lucario, who manages to tank it. But at this point, Bea recalls Hawlucha and brings up Machamp. And for the rest of the episode, it's Lucario versus Machamp. And Ash is struggling throughout this entire encounter. Lucario goes head to head with Machamp and struggles quite a bit. And by struggling, I mean Lucario literally gets grabbed by Machamp, and Machamp just starts beating up on it with his other two arms. And it's literally a JoJo reference. First we get a Dragon Ball Z reference, then we get a JoJo reference with Lucario just getting beaten down. And Ash is feeling very pressured at this point, to the point where he thinks it's time to bring out Mega Evolution. But as he tries to do this, Lucario basically backs down and denies it. so the Mega Evolution failed. And it's actually rather nice because Ash recognizes that he was being a little bit too hasty here, as he was feeling pressured to do this. He was backed into a corner, so he felt like he had to do this in order to save the day, in order to save Lucario. But Lucario realizes they need to save this for later, because if they bring out their trump card, yeah, Ash is going to be losing again to Bea. So, nice going, Lucario. But then we have the announcer who's actually calling Ash out and basically saying that their bond isn't strong enough. And then we have Leon show up, who obviously got lost because this is Leon. He just gets lost all the time. So he shows up late, but he's also there to help referee the battle going on. And he actually says that it's actually their bond's too deep. It's actually really strong. It's so strong that Lucario knows that it's not time to use Mega Evolution. And that they weren't on equal footing for a second there, but as soon as Ash understood, they understood one another clearly. And Bea actually recognizes this and aspires to get to this point with her Pokemon, I guess. That's what she wants. But anyways, they each declare that they're going to face off against Leon as the episode comes to an end on a cliffhanger note, with Ash actually on the defense and seemingly losing here at this point in the battle. So what can I say? This was a fantastic episode. I love this episode to the point when it ended, I just wanted more. And I love that feeling. This is what we want, Journeys. This is exactly what we want. We want episodes to be more like this. Battles to be more like this, that end in cliffhangers. This is what the Ash vs. Karina episode needed. It needed to be a two-parter where it ends on a cliffhanger, then ends in the next episode. Give some more time for the characters to interact in episode 1, and then have the second episode being mainly battle focused until the end, and then they part ways. It looks like we're leading into this. And again, I just love the fact that it ends on a cliffhanger note, because it looks like Ash is losing here. And honestly, for the first part of this battle, he's actually taking L's left and right, despite none of his Pokemon going down at this point. And he hasn't brought out his third Pokemon yet, which, revealed in the preview, is Sirfetch'd. But yeah, excellent overall. This episode is exactly what I want to see in Pokemon Journeys. This is what I want to see. I want to see continuity. We get it with Karina. All the flashbacks of their previous episodes. It's all wrapping up really nicely, and obviously Sirfetch'd is possibly getting some redemption as well in the next episode. So there's a lot of things that are being resolved here. So I have to say, thank you, Journeys. You're definitely turning things around. There's been a lot of things I've been kind of on the fence about Journeys, and there's a few things I've been disappointed about in this series. But if there's one thing that they're coming through here with, it's Ash and Bea's rivalry, which is probably one of my favorite things from this series. They are handling it well. Even though it's been a little while since their previous battle, this is setting up to be a nice conclusion between the two. And honestly, guys, that's all I got for today's episode review. I have no complaints for this episode. It was a 10 out of 10 episode in my opinion. Fantastic episode. Great interactions between Ash and Bea. I love the fact that Karina's here. It's some pretty nice continuity. The battle was awesome. I love the continuation from Ash vs. Volkner with the trainers calling out Pokemon. This makes me think that the Hyperclass battles, all of them are going to be great, along with the Masters 8 battles. So I'm definitely looking forward to the next episode and the conclusion of Ash vs. Bea Part 3. So guys, in the comment section down below, post your thoughts. Who do you think is going to win this battle? Is it going to be Ash? Is it going to be Bea? Is Sirfetch'd going to get its redemption in the next episode? Is Lucario going to defeat Graplock? Just let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you're new to the channel, just be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And guys, have a good day or night wherever you're at, and peace.